Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey, two diehard baseball fans who don't agree on anything. Which side will you choose? This is
Welcome
The
to The
Divide.
Divide with Mike and Corey.
That's your boy Todd Frazier.
Hey guys, I'm Julie Stewart-Banks.
Hey, what's up? This is Cliff Floyd. You can catch me on The Divide.
You can catch me on The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together.
So stupid. So corny. And so stupid. I hope our disagreements bring us together.
Yeah, I do. This is The Divide.
And welcome to The Divide, everybody, on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton. We're here, back. You were, I missed you from the radio this week.
I know.
Big buddy.
Brace was hurt.
Yeah. Got it?
My neck is killing me.
It's all those swings, man. All those swings on the course.
That's actually a clip from last year.
He well, you know, we wish him well. It's tough.
We
It's a
do.
tough thing. You got to turn your neck.
He shared it with the world. I told everybody, oh, we're just not doing the show tonight. And, you know, then I know he shared it with his audience that his neck was killing him. So we hope you feel better, buddy. I know you went to the doctors, got some medicine. So hopefully Powers Parlay will be back.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm happy. I wasn't on Powers Parlay this week because boy, I am not doing too hot.
Yeah, no, it's I can't say I'm on a heater either. Like it's been mild at best for sure. I don't think I've lost anything, but I have not gotten.
And that's where I am. I haven't been. I'm not down this week.
Right.
I'm right at even.
Yeah,
stupid
which
stuff.
is even more boring.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, I like perfect example is Monday. I got taking the Yankees, and I'm also going to take the over. Or I'm
Okay.
sorry, the under. I took the under. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, against Toronto, tough ball club. It was like 9.5. It was something crazy. I'm like, nah, it'll be. And of course, you know, Judge hits a
No.
500-foot bomb, and everybody else gets going, and it just hasn't been good. But it has been good for baseball this week. Unless
I mean,
sure.
yeah.
unless you're a Phillies fan right now.
Yeah, it's been fun. I'll say that.
It
Like,
has.
Yeah.
Let's talk Phillies right off the bat. You guys are having a tough week. I mean, you started by ending the series with the Rockies with a loss.
Right.
You still took 2 out of the 3 with them, but then all week against the Giants, they've just been beating you up.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're not scoring any runs. You know, you're averaging 3 runs a game.
Right.
But
It's-
you know,
it's their-
defense.
Yeah, it's their starting pitching. I mean, really, it's what it is. Nola's finally cooking, but nobody else is really coming into fruition. So their bullpen looks great. Their offense, obviously, like you said, scoring three plus runs per game. You know, it's honestly it's 100% their starting pitching. I mean, you saw it the other day. Walker didn't get out of pretty much the first inning. It was bad. It's really, really bad. Mets have similar issues. Hopefully they're going to turn that around. But you know, what I do like from the Phillies is their offense and their bullpen. If they could get their starting pitching to perform the way they're supposed to on the back of their baseball card. Blah, 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 blah.
That's what happens when you don't get warmed up on a Tuesday and
For
you
real.
come back on a Friday.
As long as they start performing the way they can on the back of their baseball card, I think they'll be fine.
And I agree. And we've talked about this week by week. You know, it's hot and cold, but that seems to be the theme. And I think a lot of ball clubs are still trying to find their groove, and whether it has to do with the changes this season, you know, the faster pace, whether that's wearing on them earlier rather than later. That's all yet to be determined, right? There's no sample size yet. We got to kind of wait and figure it out. Cubs come to town, I guess, tonight, Saturday and Sunday. So a beat up Cubbies. I kind of like Philly if they can get their pitching under control for that one. The Mets, on the other hand, if you want to speak to them, but who they got coming to town this week?
We got the Guardians.
That's
and I
right.
said it the right way.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Yeah, and
be tough.
Look, man, we just had the hardest team in there, the Rays. You know, so we helped out the boys in the Bronx a little bit. We took 2 out of 3 from the Rays.
And that
the
nice
Mets
little
did.
interleague.
It was absolutely insane. I mean, you know, the first game it pretty much was a punch in the gut. You were like, wow, we're gonna lose another series. You know, we've lost a dozen series in a row. It seems like they have not won a game in what seems like forever. Like, granted, we're not on the losing streak, but it was like they would win one game, the Mets, and then lose 2 or 3.
Right.
Like it was like that. It didn't matter. And then you have to look at most of our wins. The Mets wins are from the Marlins in the beginning of the season. Like
Hey, take it where you can get it, though.
No,
I mean, come on.
Well, now the Marlins are better than us, so it's unbelievable the way this season has started.
I mean, but yeah, they're a game ahead.
Right.
Let's not.
Right.
They are technically on paper better than you right now, but they're a game ahead. I
Right.
mean, taking 2 out of the 3 against the Rays,
Mhm.
a nice walk-off win.
Yeah,
for the
actually,
Metropolitans.
right. So finally, they like I was telling you,
And that was what? That was Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And then they had the day game Thursday,
right.
which was a nail biter.
Like we were talking about last week, I said like I'm tired of seeing these minor league highlights, and they put Beltran into the minors. Well, they brought up Viennos. He comes in. He's not a great glove at third base. They put him at third base for the night game on Tuesday. He hits a game-tying homer.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets instantly give back the game. Then Frank the Tank, Francisco Alvarez, ties it up again with the 3-run bomb. And then they go into extra innings. The Rays take a 2-run lead in the 10th. Pete Alonso comes up and hits a 3-run home run and walks it off and curses on national television. So, it was,
which isn't the first time. I don't think he's cursed. He's cursed multiple times on national television.
Yes, we have a shirt
that's right.
based off it.
That's
go
right.
to give us a shot.network, LFGM. So this time he actually says the F. I don't think he's ever said that on the air. He just normally does the initials. But look, like it was a great game, and you're like, this is something the Mets could build off of. Now, the only issue was they probably partied a lot harder than they could. And then it was a day game. So you're like, I don't want to see this lineup. A day game right after.
I don't know why they do the
inning.
night to day game.
Yeah.
Especially you're talking middle of the week games here.
There was only like 6 games too, all dated Thursday.
Right.
And 1 NBA game. So there wasn't much to gamble on today, but also there wasn't much to watch just as a sports fan. And
correct.
So you're sitting there, you're like, man, this is a day game. Like, but it was like a big field trip day. Baltimore had the similar thing. They had all the kids at the park.
Mm-hmm.
So the lineup was screwy, man. They had people playing out of position for sure. But they pulled out a win, the Mets, and that's incredible. So they got a 2-game winning streak right now. They're 5 of their last 5. So in the last 10 games, although it feels like they've lost a ton, they're now at 500. And right now, like you said, they're 6 out of first, but they're in the hunt. And you got to think the playoffs now, the way, like, look at the Lakers right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of, oh my God, this team's not good. Well, they're one of the last 4 remaining. So like, that's how baseball is now with the extended postseason.
Yes.
So
which I think, and it was great. Philly benefited from it last year.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of teams this year that benefit as well. I feel like, AL East, NL East, very similar. You got a team on top ahead by at least 4 or 5 games.
Right.
And now the hunt is on, and you got to wait for either them to fall off or you got to get your act together and get moving. I mean, these summer months are coming.
And for both the Mets and the Phillies, advantage Mets and Phillies for the wild card right now, because the 2 teams in front of them are Miami and Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh has fallen from grace, dude. Since they won their let me see, they're run 3 of their last 10 they've won. So since they won 20 games, they rattled off and lost 8. So it's insane to just think of that, like, and it gives you an idea of like how little of a sample size this is for Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
But yeah, having the Mets, Phillies, and the Giants right on their tails, that can't feel good. But if you're any of those ball clubs, it definitely feels good for you.
Yeah, here's what I want. I want either the Mets, Yankees, Phillies. I want them all to do great, spectacular, and really start climbing, or just start sucking now so we can get the nice, cheap 1 o'clock day game seats right on the wall. Give us a little help here, people. Come on. Let's move over to the Yankees. And I hate to kind of always go in that direction. That's a lie. I don't hate to go in that direction at all. But big news for the Yankees this week. I mean, obviously, taking 2 out of 3 for Toronto. We got Cincinnati coming to town, or we go to Cincinnati.
All eyes on the Yankees for sure, or at least Judge's eyes are on the Yankees.
Yeah, we go to Cincinnati for the
Mhm.
weekend, starting with right now and Saturday and Sunday. And then we host the Orioles, who are actually second place in the AL East. But all eyes were on the Yankees, starting with the eyes of the $300 million man, Aaron Judge.
Which seems like pennies now, thinking about what
It really is. I mean, you're talking Lamar Jackson contracts and all that other stuff, and we were
Ohtani,
blown away
yeah,
6 months ago
yeah,
at Judge's contract.
right.
But I want to talk about the scandal that isn't a scandal.
No, it's not. It's
And again, this is the whole good and bad thing about technology and being able to freeze one. You know, yeah, someone was tipping their pitches, and Judge was looking for it, whether that was someone signaling from the bench or whatever. But it's not illegal. And also, I had said in the group chat when I think Carl or someone sent it off with the Judge eyes picture, and it's like, you have, what do they call it? The pitch beeper thingy. I forget, the pitch comm, they call it. You have a pitch comm. You have a million things that baseball now allows to kind of prevent sign stealing. So if you're still able to pick up on pitches, that's your own fault as a baseball club. Like, you got no one to be angry with yourself. I know the Blue Jays were angry after Monday night because they showed it. The coaching staff was frustrated. We'll get into the fat boy comment in a little bit. But yeah, you know, this whole like Judge was cheating. No, he wasn't cheating. And if you can pick that stuff up in the batter's box, then you deserve to hit a home run and you deserve to get your pitches sought after or whatever it is.
What's not being talked about a lot is his interaction with his coaches and teammates while he was on the on-deck circle. So this is something Judge actually saw from the pitcher tipping his pitch, and he was like, just let me know when he does that or whatever. And he was like, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever. So that's what he was looking for. But also, like, dude, you got to worry about the pitch clock. You got to worry about the actual pitch being made. If you have time to glance over, see that it's going to be an off-speed pitch to the outside, kudos to you, dude.
Exactly,
like,
right?
Yeah. Granke was the one that, did you ever see what he did?
No.
Like, he was mad. He's like, I'm throwing a curveball. I'm throwing a curveball. And he throws a curveball, strikes the guy out, walks off the mound. Like, you know, like, so like you can know what's coming and it doesn't matter.
You still gotta hit it. Yeah.
You were watching something earlier before we started and it said like it was the 7th slider or whatever. And he finally hung one.
Yeah. So he threw 6 sliders in a row.
Yeah.
Here comes the 7th. And that's what that pitcher was primarily known for.
Right.
Who pitched Monday night for Toronto? God, I forget. But that's all the announcers talked about when the game first started was he loves his slider. He always goes to his slider. Sliders, but that's all it was. Slider after slider after slider. Before you knew it, 7-0 Yankees.
Right.
And now all of a sudden Toronto's got a problem with it because it's 7-0 Yankees. And I got a problem because it's the 5th inning and it's 7-0 and I bet the under. What are we doing here?
That's bad. That's bad. You can't with Toronto and the Yankees, all that hitting power.
You know why though?
I don't care if it's at 20. I'm not betting.
You know why though? Because I just feel like every time you get unless the Yankees are playing Baltimore, and because there it really doesn't matter whether you're in. But they were also in Toronto. It wasn't a short porch anymore.
Right.
You know, between them being away, and I just kind of felt like it was going to be low scoring. I feel like the Rays in Toronto always give the Yankees trouble hitting, no matter what. Typically, now. Worrying about Vlad Guerrero Jr. on our end made me a little nervous, but I'm all right, maybe this is gonna be like a 3-2 ball game.
Fair.
Nope.
Not even close.
So from fake cheater to real cheater, let's go more Yankee news to Herman. Domingo Herman.
Yeah.
Same ump as when he played the Twins earlier that kind of questioned and told him to go have a seat, but didn't eject him from the game.
Right.
He got ejected for the quote unquote sticky stuff. The Yankees still claim it was rosin. The umpire still claims James Hoy still claims it was definitely not rosin.
Wow.
I have to ask you because you know more about this than I do.
Yeah.
Do you know if umpires go through like legit training to know this is what rosin feels? So it's like, so for them to be like, nah, that's definitely not rosin. Like,
and so far, I think there's only 2 major league umpires that have ejected people for sticky stuff.
And both, especially in this situation, not to cut you off, but these are both situations to where they were already looked at and warned, and then they come back out They're coming back to the mound
Right.
and they're getting looked at again.
Yeah.
And the same question with Verlander and even this Herman. Now,
Yeah.
I trust
Scherzer.
Verlander. Or, I'm sorry, not
Scherzer.
Scherzer. Excuse me. I
Wrong
trust
old guy.
Scherzer. Yeah, I know. I can't. I always confuse my old guys.
Yeah.
I trust Scherzer a little bit more than Herman, just because Herman's been in this type of sketchy situation before. And if I'm
Yeah.
being completely objective about it, I can kind of see.
Uh-huh.
But just like Scherzer, they're headed. You have to be an idiot to get checked once, get warned, be told to clean your hands, and then to go walk back out to the mound and still have sticky stuff on you. Like,
Yeah.
no one is that dense, especially at the major league level after they've already seen it happen to Scherzer. So, even with Herman and the quote sticky stuff, I think it was a combination of rosin and something.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a quote foreign substance, even though the MLB
No.
defines foreign substance as
It
just
could even
any
include rosin.
right.
Yeah.
Any
Abuse of-
manipulation of
yeah.
the rosin,
Which is look, man, it's crazy, it's silly. When you talk to guys like Pete Alonso and other hitters, like they're like, dude, we get to use like everything. Look at an on deck circle, even at a minor league game, they have spray, they have
the tar, the
sticks, they
amount
have
of tar on those bats.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it leaves their hand when they're running the first.
The batting gloves have such ridiculous amount of grip now. It's insane. And look, you don't want those things flying around and hurting people. Like, don't get me wrong. You need to keep the bat in their hands. It could end up hitting the pitcher if not.
Sure.
Or not any. You can't hit a field member, thank God, anymore. Person in the stands. But yeah. So then imagine the pitcher has nothing on him. Like
It's just that's why I love watching Jorge Posada hit, because no gloves. He would get right to and from the on deck circle into the batter's box. You get a little dirt in his hands. He'd go, rub his hands together, and that's it. And he'd crush it. It's just I'm tired of hearing about the sticky stuff. I am. It's just we make the same argument we did with steroids. Just legalize everything.
Yeah.
You still have to hit the ball. Like all these people that were worried about steroids and all this, like they still have to hit the ball. Like Greinke, I'm going to throw a curveball. You still have to make contact. If we're going to check spin rate and this, that, and the other thing, then we're going to check them leaving and coming back. It's getting old quick, and it's not even June yet.
Yeah, and what's crazy too, it's not just the crackdown on the sticky stuff in the majors. They're also doing it in the minors. So the Mets, 2 days in a row, their pitcher was ejected for sticky substance after being checked by an umpire. Today was Dylan Bundy, and the other day was Eric Orsi. So like, look, it's crazy. I mean, maybe they'll understand it by then, but then like it's all subjective. Like it's not like you're scanning or like looking up a substance or like having to put your hand on a piece of paper. Also, like I was thinking about this the other day because my brother just opened up his pool, and I was like, dude, they could check this real quick, shake it up, and then go over to the, like check the substance, like run a quick swab and look at it, and if it's something outrageous or a substance that's not allowed to be on the hand, then suspend them. But to think that it's just rosin and then they're telling them to go wash their hands and they're reapplying, like, first off, don't reapply until you're back on the mound.
Right.
Like, that would be my first suggestion, because both now pitchers in New York that have gotten ejected is coming back onto the field.
Right.
Like, so why are you
crazy.
applying
Unless they don't think they have the time. I mean,
Right,
I don't know how
right.
much of a process is it
don't.
really.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
guess.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's getting out of hand, and it seems like
Mhm.
Major League is just, they're ruining baseball.
Yeah.
And it could be the media and all these theatrics and everything else, but it's these types of stories are consuming the game.
Yeah.
And it is, we're sitting here spending 10 minutes talking about this whole scandal that's not a scandal, and the word cheating and all that other stuff, being thrown out there.
And there might have been another guy that passed an inspection that was stickier than either one of these
Right.
pitchers. I go back to the Padres wild card game with the man with the glowing ears, like it's just like
those things were glistening.
Yeah, it's insane.
He had more
Yeah.
substance on his ears than like the MMA fighters that rub
and then
best attrition over
suspiciously,
them. Like, just
and NLDS, it's not there anymore. You know what I mean? So it was just strange. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think. other than let the teams police themselves. If somebody's spin rate goes outrageous, like then the other coach could ask for something to be checked. But again, it should be done off by an MLB official, like off the scenes.
Off the field.
Yeah.
This happened, whether, and
Right.
that's the other thing. Stop telling them to wash their hands. Hey, this is too sticky.
Yeah.
You're done.
Because this stuff is happening in front of kids. It's happening in front of their families. I just think it's silly. I don't know. Call me, I don't know.
And honestly, what's the goal? Obviously, you want a fair game for everything, even for betting purposes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want a fair shot to watch a game, but at the same time, it's like you're okay. Major League Baseball, you made these changes to try to make the game better. You have to find a different process for checking these guys, because right now, all the work you're doing to speed up the game and make it, whatever is.
And even what happened to Joey Musgrove in the wild card game against the Mets, like that's also embarrassing,
Yeah.
And like it's embarrassing for Buck having to do that and stuff. So it should be done differently. I don't know. I don't have the answers for it, but what I have is it's kind of weird, So
I'm with you. I'm with you. We got to take a quick break. We are going to continue to talk how Major League Baseball ruins fun. Also, we're going to talk a little Tom Brady, Kim K action over there, Mike. What do we, I know. What do we think about? Oh, we're going to find out what we think. Stay with us. Phillies, stay with us. Trenton, we will be right back. This is Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Brother called me. I don't know why.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Right. Do I have time to run upstairs real quick?
Yeah. What's up, Steve Wallman? We're on commercial break right now, so yeah, we could talk to you guys. Did he? Jason Rodriguez. I guess we might have mentioned him. Mets did not call up Gary Sanchez yet. Actually, he could opt out of his minor league contract tonight. Frank is asking from New Jersey if the Mets called up Gary Sanchez. And no, he could actually opt out tonight. I heard the Mets were going to ask him to give them 10 more days before he actually opts out in hopes to retain him. Also, if you follow us on Fox Sports The Gambler's YouTube page, anybody that's currently watching on Facebook and other places, we're giving away Rita's gift card. So just throw something in the chat on our Facebook Fox Sports The Gambler page, and you could be in the running for some Rita's gift cards. We've given out some already, and we got more on the way. So it's pretty exciting. Should get back soon. My brother was watching our show somewhere and still tried to call me. That's funny. Well, I got you guys here, and Corey's not here right now. For Mother's Day, we got that fancy ice, man. I don't know if you guys, it's like that nugget ice. We got a new ice machine in the house, and it like makes this amazing, amazing ice, and I love it. So pretty excited. Figured I'd talk to random people while you were gone.
Nice, yes. I thought about that. I was like, oh no, I just left, but we're live on YouTube.
Yeah. Something about the ice that I purchased.
The ice?
Yeah, we got a new ice machine, man. It's that nugget ice that
I thought
kind
you
of
were
melts.
talking
like my drip.
Like yeah, exactly. I almost said bling. I almost just told everybody my age without telling people my age by saying bling.
Yeah. Steve, I did watch today's game. As much as I could, being that it was on during work. But yeah, it was a really good game. Most regular baseball game we could ask for, with the exception that Pete Alonso hit a home run and he's suffering from a cold right now, and he's doing better than he has, in the last 5-6 games. I'd say he's still leading MLB in home runs, which is amazing, especially after the last 2 nights. But yeah, dude, it was a great game against an amazing ball club, and I'm happy the Mets pulled 2 out of 3. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna hit the thing, and then comment. And like I said, if you switch over to the Fox Sports The Gambler YouTube page, throw a comment in there, and you'll probably get a Rita's gift card.
Be cool, go to Rita's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
You're listening to The Divide right here on The Gambler.
And we are back, everybody. Baseball ruins fun. I'm talking about Major League Baseball. Let's just talk about the first, before we get into the antics that some of the players get into and how the umpires are not happy. I want to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees series real quick.
Yeah.
Third base coach Rojas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Luis Rojas. Ex-Met manager.
Yes.
Jacked. He's absolutely jacked, just so you know.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever seen him with his shirt off.
I have not seen him with his shirt off, but I saw him on Tuesday night get pretty angry.
Yeah.
And he was a little too close to the Blue Jays bench for the dugout for comfort. I would have been scared.
They said he's a monster in the weight room.
Well, and he's just a competitive individual. So, you talk to both sides. Here's what happened. Apparently, the third base coach is supposed to stay in the third base coach box. There was some chatter outside the Toronto or from inside the Toronto dugout telling Rojas to stay in your box. Now, stupid thing to say.
All right.
Especially if you're just trying to if you're going to get under someone's nerves, chirp at the players. You chirping at a coach for who cares?
I don't know.
But if the umps don't have a problem with it, and they didn't Monday night when the Toronto third base coach went wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get under the skin. They're probably mad at the quote unquote cheating, not cheating scandal.
Baseball's very mental. So you're just trying to give yourself an edge, get angry, and just win. So go on.
No. Pete Walker, Blue Jays pitching coach, exchanged words with Luis Rojas and basically told him to stay in his box. And Rojas did not like that one bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was almost going to rip off his shirt. He was so angry. But no, it was this whole ordeal. The umps had to come over. Boone had to come over. They had to sit there and talk. And then for some reason, John Schneider is looking towards home plate.
Comes
out of nowhere. And is you can hear and see. Well, I don't know if you could hear it, but you can definitely on the different clips, you can see his lips say, "Shut up, fat boy." Nobody knows who he's talking to.
I want to know what his brain was thinking of saying at that point, like poopy head,
like fat boy, shut up, fat boy,
you fart machine, like all these like random like PG type cursing, and like, look, I'm not saying everything. I'm not faulting the guy for not cursing, but also like, I don't know if you've seen a picture of John Snyder. He shouldn't. Like,
no.
I don't
Pop
ever,
calling the kettle black.
Right.
100%.
I never, ever mock anybody for their weight because I'm up and down 24/7 with it. So I would never use that as an insult, nor should anybody. I mean, it's tough. Not everybody's built the same, literally. And, so you shouldn't do that. I think it's that and baldness. Everybody likes to shame people for that.
Don't shame the baldness.
Yeah, fat and bald.
This is a radio station that primarily hires bald people or balding people. I've always seen Jansen with a hat on. Does Jansen have a full head of hair?
He's got amazing
Does he?
locks.
And he hides it with a hat all the time.
I know, right?
That is irony.
And also it's irony, but also like according to my grandma, the reason why I lost my hair was because I used too many hats.
That's a wives' tale. Old wives' tale.
My brother doesn't wear hats because of that. He's got full head of hair.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Jay would always wear hats. And his hair was never receding as bad as mine.
Right.
Bert-
It did recede though. I mean, it
right,
definitely-
correct.
yeah,
But I mean, that could just
it
be
calms down.
genetics.
or it could
Look at
also-
these baseball players that wear hats how many days for a living, and they're
Yeah.
doing just fine with their expensive hair plugs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Also, Jay has a lot of income.
It's true. It's true.
He fixed the glitch.
The whole the whole ordeal. The
Your
third
dad's
bit-
gonna come back down next week. And he's got a
full head of hair.
Hey,
There
Corey.
it is. Just spending my retirement money.
What's up, Baldy? He says to you.
Like the video I sent you.
Huh?
Like, listen up, guys. This is
Yeah.
the best haircut for a receding hairline.
It's so true.
Bald.
Yeah, it's so true, man. Don't go through the 7 stages of denial with that.
No.
Just shave it off.
So I want to know why baseball hates on. First of all, this tit for tat BS with the third base coach standing. And by the way, the 4th inning after all this went down,
Mhm.
the Luis Rivera, the Blue Jays third base coach, was caught outside the box. So Boone had to go out and have the same conversation. And it's just silliness. It's ridiculous. And this is what we have to watch when we turn on to try to watch this game.
Mhm.
So all of these restrictions that they did to kind of move the game along, it looks like it's starting to backfire. And now everybody is starting to use all of these, or they're drawing a very hard line in the sand with all of these rules, and they're going tit for tat. One thing I want to talk about, and this is something that you sent me, is this game that teams like to play.
Mhm.
And what they'll do is they'll send, before the game starts, this is Major League Baseball, they will send one representative of their team outside the dugout. And during the national anthem, they will stand outside the dugout, just the one person by themselves, across from the other team's dugout where they elect a representative.
Yeah.
And it's basically this game of chicken to see who will go in the dugout first. And it's gotten to the point where both players will just stand there still staring at one another
Yeah.
until like the pitcher's done warming up.
I love it.
And some umps are having a problem with this.
Yeah.
And they've literally, I forget the ump's name, he literally ejected 2 players from the game before it even started
Yeah.
for doing this.
Yeah, America, we got to decide what we want, right? Like, and here you have 2 patriots standing for their country, and now we're upset. Like, really? No.
What are we doing?
I know, I love it, but it's definitely somebody trying to get $5,000 from, Max Scherzer, a guy like that, because a lot of these rookies are not making the money. Like $5,000 is still a lot of money.
I
So-
get it, but
so
my
there's
whole
gotta be a
problem
bounty
is
on that, 'cause
this is fun that hurts nobody. Yes, a game does have to get started, so they
Right.
have to find a different way to not let it affect
right.
the start and warm-ups and all that other stuff.
There has to be like a tiebreaker. If they
Right.
both get to the pitching warm-ups thing, they got to do like a thumb wrestle or something. You know what
Right,
I
or
mean?
like
something
sprints to the
stupid.
back wall from where they're at, and
Right.
something that's just that can get the crowd excited, like
Yeah.
and let people realize this is just a game. Even the most heated rivalry,
Yeah.
like even if the Mets go in to play Philly or vice versa, if the Yankees go up to play the Red Sox, whatever it happens to be, if you got a player from each team and does
Mhm.
something silly like that, it kind of breaks a little bit of tension, and people kind of realize, all right, we're here to have fun, we're here to play a game.
Yeah.
Let's throw $100
But
on whatever.
speaking of the tension too, I noticed when I was at a game in Queens that there's probably like 4 or 5 players that happen to be in the dugout or even on the field when the anthem's announced, because there's no exact start to the national anthem. Like they kind of just like the fans don't even know it's coming. Like you're getting food next minute, like, oh, you got to take your hat off and get ready.
That's
You
all
know
you
what I mean?
hear is, hey, please
Yeah.
rise and remove your caps.
Right.
For...
So like I don't think it's a guaranteed registered time that they do that. I mean, I'm sure there's a game plan and set to try to do it at a certain time, but it maybe doesn't always happen consistently. It's not like game starts at 7:10, anthems at 7:05, and maybe it is, and I'm just oblivious to that.
No, I mean,
But-
some of these start times are ridiculous.
But
Like the
even so,
Yankees are
like,
starting at
yeah.
7:07,
Players are-
6:40.
Players' routine could be different depending on what they're going through, right? Whether it's a cold or whatever. So what I noticed is, and I noticed this a few times other than like opening day or the playoffs, a lot of the guys aren't even on the field for the anthem. And I'm like, man, NFL could have solved a lot of their issues if they just didn't make it into this huge televised event.
Right.
Like it
Right.
was, I don't know. I don't want to dwell on that stuff anymore, but I'm glad we're, I guess, at a spot where now we could joke about the anthem.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can joke just about not
Yeah.
about the anthem per se, but these little, we'll call them silly games. It's like,
Yeah,
I feel
love it.
like Major League Baseball is just, or even like with Goodell, like for football, like
Mhm.
maybe someone has to be the bad guy,
Yeah.
but for something that's harmless,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about like, national anthem trumpet. I'm talking about guys that are playing
No,
human
even-
chicken with each other.
Right. Yeah.
And just these
great.
games, it's like
Great.
when they have rain delays and they're trying
Yeah.
to throw bubble gum as close to the line as possible, or
Right,
or
right.
spit sunflower seeds as far as they can. Like, you're talking about grown men playing dumb games.
162 games, and like, you got to have fun with it.
Right.
And they used to do that in the dugout all the time. Like, they would put bubble gum on somebody's hat.
The fake camera interviews after, like, you know what I
it's
mean?
all good
What
stuff.
did they ban? The big hat.
The big hat.
The
Yeah, that was
lids
new
banned, the
era.
big new
Yeah.
era's banned. Like, it just seems like so far this season, and it has been in seasons past, but it's just every little bit or ounce of fun that anybody has had in the dugout. That's like Major League Baseball's like, hey, this is your job, and you got to make the team a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, they shut it down like an angry stepdad or
Yeah,
something. Like,
I know, man. But even the bat flips now, they've kind of come to understanding that that's going to be a part of the game, and they should have embraced it from the beginning. But yeah, they were like, oh, that's terrible, that's unsportsmanlike. Like, who cares, dude? Like, let's relax. Like, it's an emotional time. The thing I don't like that athletes get put in front of are the cameras, especially after they lose. Like, I get it. The manager should have to do it no matter what, but we as a society want that hot take from athletes. And just to go back to what happened with the Sixers, Embiid gave it to the press and said, hey, look, it's not just me. I can't win it all on my own, and kind of made a selfish remark. But dude, he just lost game 7. What do you want him to say? Like, so it's like, with that said, like, I just wish there were a little more closed doors. They could give him some time. Like, hey man, when you're ready to talk, let's set up a Zoom, or just get your voice out there. We're definitely going to need a quote from you, but if it takes a day, it's okay.
I think after major losses like that,
yes,
a day, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you just lost game 4 and you're headed to game 5, then
Right.
30
got
minutes after
plenty-
the game,
you have
go
plenty
ahead.
of
You know what I
time
mean?
to talk to LeBron or whoever won,
Right.
Tatum in this case.
Well,
with
I mean,
this,
we'll go further, dude. There's no other sport
Mhm.
or professional sport that will interview during the game
Yeah.
like the NHL.
I know.
Like, you're watching the NHL playoffs literally on the bench,
Yeah.
interviewing the coach.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, so what do you think you need to fix while play is going on?
Right.
Get out of their face.
Yeah.
How much do we want to give the media?
I don't know.
And I get it.
We have friends in the media.
We do.
Yeah.
And it's great. There's a lot of clicks. There's a lot of eyes if you get something good, but it's like, what, we got to draw a line here. What are we doing?
Right.
I'm sitting here trying to watch hockey, and instead I have a reporter with with a microphone in the coach's face as he's trying to coach a game.
No.
I think players, the least they can do is speak to the media. I do like kind of cracking open what they're thinking. I think the biggest beef I have with interviewing players after a loss isn't necessarily that the players have to answer these questions. It's how awful the questions are. What was going through your mind when the last second counted down and you realized that you weren't going to win this game? Like,
Yeah.
we have to do better as members of the media to really kind of we have to ask better questions and get some better information to build a better relationship with these players.
Yeah. And they always ask, Corey, I got to ask this, but you were 10 minutes late. What happened? Like, it's like,
do you think that at all affected the impact of the game?
Yeah, exactly. Do you think our performance on this show today
Yes.
was impacted by you forcing Mike to bring the groceries in?
We noticed you wore White Socks today. Can you just talk to us about that and why you made the change? It's just, it's the same damn
we should
thing.
do that to real life people. Like, hey, like you just got
might be onto something.
Yeah, I'm always on to something.
That's true. I'm
Most
always
of it.
on something. You're
Oh
always
my
on to something. Okay.
No. But yeah, look, dude, I just think give the players a break. Coaches, absolutely roast them. You got enough content there for the first day after they lose a major game. Let the players rest. but with the understanding with the player agreement that they do eventually have to talk to the press and put out a nice statement or even interviews.
I think a 24-hour rule is fine, man.
Exactly.
You have 24 hours to speak to a member of the media.
Yeah, that's it.
And
you could
I
pick
would almost
Right.
want the players to give exclusive rights to certain members of the media.
Well, that's it. But look,
Privatize it. Make money off it.
even Derek Jeter, who never had a bad thing written about him, created the Players Tribune because he realized that there wasn't really an outlet for the athletes. And then you have guys like AJ Przinsky and Todd Frazier and Scotty Braun making foul territory to let the current players actually get their feelings out, and not a closed door boxed gotcha atmosphere.
Right. It's a very comfortable player to player, just
yeah.
a discussion taking place. And that's what Scott said when we had him on. And
Yeah.
well, I think you or I asked, like, how everybody just seems really comfortable. And that's exactly what he said. This is not a member of the media. How am I going to flip my words around on you? This is let's talk about this. I really want to know what you think about this.
And speaking of something that might make players a little more comfortable, I don't know if you saw this, but Scott Boras lost a player this week.
I did see that.
Yeah, Frankie Alvarez
to Bad Bunny.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like when you really think about that. But our network's foundation was built off a Young Money Players Association. So like that was the first
one of our first accounts.
One of our first accounts that gave us a shot. We made some awesome podcasts for some amazing NFL players that were signed to Young Money Sports. We still have friends there, and friends in sports media because of that connection. And it was really cool, but it was like, wait, Lil Wayne? Like, at first we were like, we didn't know that much. It was the beginning of it. And since then that, other people have joined, and Jay-Z was one of the first with Rock Nation,
also stole somebody from Scott Boras.
Yes, he
did.
did.
Robinson Cano from
Cano.
Scott Boras.
Yeah.
Scott Boras doesn't have a good track record with losing clients to people in the entertainment industry.
Fair. That is fair. But he's also got a ton of them, so I don't think he's crying.
He's not hurting.
Yeah, he's not hurting at all.
He's definitely not hurting at all.
But it is an old man mentality of how agents work, as opposed to, Bad Bunny's doing pretty good for himself in a bad way.
Good Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, he's connected with the WWE. Just had an amazing, crazy match in Puerto Rico for WWE pay-per-view Backlash. And speaking of the WWE, then you got Pat McAfee, right?
Yeah,
just signed
with ESPN.
Huge deal with ESPN.
Claims, his show is still going to be edgy and this, that. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Just enjoy the bag.
Just
make fun of yourself.
Right.
Just make fun of yourself. And he kind of did. I don't know.
Right.
Did you see that long Instagram post? Yeah. So he's like, this guy's gone. And these guys are now called this.
I mean, and I don't think, Pat, anybody expects everything to be exactly the same.
Right.
Especially going now to a Disney-owned, medium here.
Exactly.
It's not like when Stern went from FCC-controlled radio to satellite radio.
Right.
It's
the complete reverse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to be watered down, Pat. It's going to be, but guess what? You're still making a ton of money, and you're still taking everybody with you. So
yeah, exactly, and that's what it's all about.
No shame in that.
Yeah, no, we had to clean up. I mean, our act was pretty clean, but we had to.
Your act was. I seriously had to rehearse everybody. I had to rehearse how to not curse every second of every day.
They were asking why we kept pre-recording.
I know. Should it be that hard? Isn't he a teacher? You're like, it's just how he is. But we had to clean up. We had to, brush some things off a little bit while we came to the Gambler. So why not?
Nah, man, I like what Pat's doing. He's a workhorse. He's with the NC college football. He's doing WWE. He's all over the place. He's all over ESPN. So it just makes sense for that partnership. But the one thing that I took from it was they see value in growing YouTube. And YouTube is going to be something that obviously is going to be the new. It already is. My daughter doesn't understand regular cable.
Right.
She's like, why can't I skip this ad? I'm like, because it's a commercial. She's like, okay, well, why is another ad playing? I was like, because we're on commercial. She's like, well, can't we skip this? And like, she's perplexed by it because she lives in a YouTube world.
Bert had the same conversation with my niece,
Yeah.
Lena, his daughter,
Right.
and he was listening to the radio, like not whatever's on iTunes,
Right,
not
right.
Apple CarPlay,
Yeah.
but to the radio. And she's like, "Hey, can you change this song?" He's like, "I it's the radio. It's a commercial."
Right.
Yeah, but I don't want to listen to it. He's like, I can't change it. It's what is this? Like he had to explain what a commercial was.
Right.
But it's I always think of YouTube because like we grew up when YouTube like all right,
Right.
we were like, what is this? It's YouTube. It just plays videos. Okay, like
Exactly.
that's where I have a hard time wrapping my mind around it.
Yeah.
But these YouTubers
yeah.
that are a heck of a lot richer than I am.
And Pat McAfee's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you have the ones that use their platform
Mhm.
and for media. Foul Territory does it. We do it. All that other stuff.
No.
And then you have people that just open up boxes, FedEx boxes. What's in
I
this one?
know.
And what's in this one?
And we watched
Or
them
the
all
ones
through the
that
pandemic.
stream that's not
Yeah.
on Twitch and just
Dude.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. The one thing I've learned, and especially what YouTube has showed me more, is that there is a lot of money out there
Mhm.
to be made on YouTube. You just got to find your
So,
etch.
so when they announced that, ESPN announced that Pat McAfee was going to be on their airwaves every morning, blah, 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 at this certain time, I was like, all right, whatever. But then when I saw that they're also going to have him live on their YouTube channels, I was like, that's why they paid the man. That's why they paid him, because this is going to blow them up. And speaking of blowing up YouTube, you got to follow us. You got to give us a shot network and Fox Sports The Gambler. Go to Fox Sports The Gambler. Comment on this show, The Divide Live. We're live right now.
That's right.
On YouTube. You could go to the live videos, comment on this. I want to read his gift card. We'll make sure our boss sends you a Rita's gift card. We're trying to grow that. Please subscribe to Fox Sports The Gambler's YouTube page. Make us and Sean Brace so he could take us with us when he gets that ESPN deal.
That's right. Quick news before we wrap things up. Kim K, Tom Brady. Will it ever happen? Well, it looks like Kim Kardashian was shopping for a home in the same neighborhood as Tom
That's
Brady.
crazy.
And this has been a blown up story of the entire week. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of pictures on my computer of Kim Kardashian right now because this one article just has 1 million of them, which is great. Oh, and Tom Brady. There he is giving a thumbs up.
Yo,
Insane.
Buster from Q102 was on Brace's show the other day, and he had the best line ever. He's like, listen, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm going through an ugly divorce that involves kids and stuff. Even if there was a rumor dangling that I was hooking up with Kim Kardashian,
I'm taking that rumor.
He's like, I would let it linger just so she thought I had my stuff together, just to keep let the other one know, hey, I got other things brewing. So I thought that was funny and a clever concept. But do I think they're dating? Like, no, I don't.
It's one insanely rich person being friends with another insanely rich person.
Yeah. Hey, do you
shopping
like
in
where
the
you live?
same neighborhood.
Yeah, sharing a golf cart because that's what rich people do.
Yeah. I mean, we're
It's
not.
like it's like when Becca took Jenny to when Jenny sliced her hand. Like,
Yeah.
it's their version of that.
Right.
Like just friends helping friends.
Yeah, I'll be right over to take you to the
Yeah.
hospital. Like dumb
Right.
stuff. Like, and that's what it is. You want to know, oh, this person's in my tax bracket or lack of, since they're so rich. And then, let's see if they have any property tips. Like, it's all it is. Come on, media. You got to do better. Don't forget to check us out on our socials, guys. The Divide Live on Instagram, Divide Live on Twitter and Facebook. Mike already told you about YouTube. Give us a shot.network for all of your merchandise needs, and whether that's Bro V1, it could be some Mets, Phillies, or even a little bit of Yankees merch in there as well. You had a little bit of a golf day before we close out.
I did.
You had so good of a golf day.
I couldn't I never thought I'd say this in my life. So I was accused of cheating on a golf course. I ended up with a 94. I had I think a 38 through 9.
It's an insane front nine.
Right. Front 9 was sick.
So I think the par on that course is like 35 or something.
Right.
Like that.
It was a Tuesday. So
Monday.
It was Monday. It was hot out. I didn't bring sunscreen. I had to get sunscreen from the shop. So I kept overly applying it because I just didn't want to be sunburned. Like, I burn very easily.
You are, yeah.
So like they kept seeing me going in my cart and applying like I was Max Scherzer, right? And they accused me of putting Vaseline on my clubs Because apparently is that true?
I looked it up after. First of all, everybody, you have to understand how excited my co-host and dear friend here.
Yes.
He called me up laughing and screaming. I thought he hit the lottery.
Yeah.
He was like, someone just accused me of cheating on a golf course. And I was like, you're happy about this? He's like, oh no, I golfed so good. They thought I was cheating. I was like, oh my God. Coincidentally enough, I did just 9 holes that day.
Yeah.
You called me right when you were finishing your 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I looked it up after you told me, and they said something about you rubbing it on the face of your
Chapstick
clubs.
using-
Apparently it reduces the spin rate. So if you have like a crazy slice or hook, it's supposed to help straighten it out because it keeps the ball from spinning. I've never
Wow.
even heard of this. And it's not like we're on the pro tour. It's like, I'm just going to suck today.
Yeah,
you
we're
know
going to
what I
have
mean?
to tag swinging and dinging and be
We're
like,
gonna
yo,
have
dude.
to. We're going to check Brace's clubs when we go out with
We
him.
will. I'm now going to pat everybody's clubs.
Damn right. That's right.
Let me check your sticks.
That's it. Show me your hands. Let me see your belt line.
Yeah.
Let's go here. All right, everybody. Be good. We will be back next week. This was Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.